first and foremost, I hope everybody had an incredible Thanksgiving. There's certainly we've been blessed and we have a lot to be thankful for. There have been some years that business maybe even wasn't going as well, but nevertheless, the fact that we're here and that God gave us another day and health, we're very very blessed. So I appreciate all of you guys getting on here. Again, hope you guys had an incredible Thanksgiving. But today I want to give you guys a treat. The gentleman that I'm going to introduce has literally made millions of dollars in his career network marketing. I'll let him get into his story, but also with Aflac, he built, an incredible business there, and he's a gentleman that I have a ton of respect for. He actually is also my pastor, right? One of the most knowledgeable men about the Word of God, and I don't know how he does it. I don't know how his brain fits so much information, right? Like he could read you the Bible backwards and forwards and stuff, and but in addition to that, his training on recruiting, on team building, on mindset, on sales in general. This is one of the best trainers that I have ever come across with. And I'm thrilled that he's now working with us at Powur, soon to be a mentor. By the way, if you guys look at the leaderboard for the number one recruiter for this month, guess what? This gentleman is number one. He's a number one recruiter for this month, and he just got started with us. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce not only a friend of mine, but somebody that I consider a brother, my friend, Mr. Stephen Gregg. How are you, brother?
Thank you very much, JC. I appreciate that, man. And I'm very excited. And I want to first thank JC because you guys don't even understand. We looked at this business almost about the same time about a year ago. And my focus was the ministry. I was really focused on growing that. And it did. It grew exponentially over the world in the ministry. And that was my focus. Excuse me, I apologize. But JC focused on Powur. And I just watched him. I just watched him over the last years, and he blew this business up. And I knew he was, but I'm so proud of him. I'm so thankful that he stuck with me and then said, Stephen, now it's time to look at this again. And I'll work with you. I'll teach you what it takes to make it in this business. I know you know what to do in other businesses and in other industries, but I'm going to help you here. So I just want to thank you, first of all, JC, for remembering me and sticking by me as I got started in this company. So I'm ready to go now. I'm all in. I pushed all my chips in on black, and I said, let's go to work. And so nice. That's what I've done. All right, so today I am very excited about doing this training because I've trained a lot of people over the years, like JC said. I've been in direct sales, network marketing, direct sales area for about 33 years. That's all I've really ever done. I've never had a job, never had a salary. I've been on straight commission since I was 18 years old. And my only skill set I had to learn at the time, and the thing I learned how to do the best, is how to generate leads and convert those leads into prospects. I've never been in a sales company that's ever given me leads. I've never been on salary plus commission. I've had to fend for myself from day one. And so that's what I've learned how to do. And I believe that's going to really make a difference here with Powur. I'm very excited about what you guys have here at Powur. And really quick, I just want to tell you guys a little story that I think can really tell you why I'm so excited about this. There was these two ladies, this man, this lady, they were older, and they were really poor. They lived in this apartment and they died very, very poor. And they died probably about 60 or so years old. They were not too old, but they came to clean their house out. And when they came to clean the house out, they were looking around and dusted off stuff. And it was really old and they didn't have much stuff, but they had stuff on the walls. And the guys were cleaning off the walls and they looked and they saw this little plaque on the wall. And on the plaque, they noticed there was a stock certificate. And on that stock certificate, it was like 5,000 shares of stock. And they dusted it off and they were trying to see what company it was. And they looked and it said, International Business Machines, IBM. And that stock was 45 years old. And so after all the splits, they found out that those people were multi-millionaires, probably worth close to $100 million. But they lived their entire life broke, poor. You know why? Because they didn't know what they had in their hands. And I can tell you right now, when I looked at this business a year ago, I didn't know what I had in my hands. And I can tell you right now, some of you right now in this business probably don't really get what you really have in your hands. The reason why I know, the last business I was in 10 years ago was a real estate investment school. And that investment school was a product where we sold real estate investment education. It cost $20,000 to join. And when I came in, I was the low man on the totem pole. I came in that business and I said, hey, I can build this business. And there were people making $1 million a year in that business. And I grew a team and we became the fastest growing team in the entire country at $20,000 a sale. I would meet people in at networking groups. The next day they were cutting me a check or giving me a credit card for $20,000 and grew the fastest growing organization in that company. I look at this company and what you guys do. It costs nothing for an owner to be involved with you. As a matter of fact, it only costs money if they say no. And so we need to be able to convey that message to these people that what they're doing, they're not spending money on solar. They're not buying solar. We need to stop selling solar. You know what we need to do? We need to convey a message to people that this is their benefit. It's their loss if they say no. It's not our loss if they say no. So when I look at this business and what you guys have and the compensation that you guys have in place, it's 10 times better than I did in that company. And I made 7 figures in 14 months in that business from a standing start. So what could we do in this business when you have a product this good in a market that even the government's telling people they need to have? I don't think we really understand what we have in our hands. And I don't think a lot of us do. But hopefully after today's training, I'm going to give you some tips and some things that you guys can do that can help you grow your business. And, you know, I want to see all of you guys be at the top because I do now absolutely know what we have in our hands in this company. So what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to share my screen. I'm not going to use a PowerPoint because I didn't have a lot of time, but I am going to use a Google Doc and show it to you. And then I'll make this Google Doc available to everyone or anyone who would like it. So let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. I'll pull it over there. All right, so let me go ahead and go through this with you because the title of this training is work your business like a job. You know, in direct sales, we always talk about you got to work your business like a business. And that's true. You do need to work your business like a business. But let me kind of give you a different twist on that. You want to run your business like a business, but you want to work your business like a job. In other words, when you run your business like a business, what does that look like? How do you run your business like a business? One of the biggest things I see in this industry is that a lot of people don't know how to run their business in direct sales. So I'm going to give you some things that you need to do to run your business like a business. Number one, you have to invest in your business. Here's why. Because you are your business. You are your business. You're the number one thing you need to invest in. If you notice my banner at the top, it says your knowledge and your skill set are your best investments. And that's what I do with my team. I consistently try to help them grow their knowledge and their skill set. If you can get those two down, that's the foundation of your business. Powur is your product supplier. I want you to understand you don't work for Powur. Powur supplies your product line, but you are your business. And it's so important to understand this. So you need to invest in your business. And one of the things you want to invest in your business is time, because we're going to talk about that in a second. But your business will only grow as much as you do. Your business is going to develop as big as you do. If you don't grow personally in your character, in your attitude, in your skill set, your knowledge, your business isn't going to grow. So your business is only going to grow as much as you do. It's not going to build itself. You know, it's called network marketing, and people say, well, my business didn't work. Well, your business didn't work because maybe you didn't work. You have to do the work. It doesn't work by itself. Just as if you opened up a restaurant, if you don't go there day and night, if you don't open the doors, if you don't run your restaurant, guess what? Your restaurant's not going to work either. And you'll say, oh, the restaurant industry doesn't work, right? That's what people say, oh, the restaurant industry doesn't work. No, the restaurant industry does work. But you actually have to do the work yourself. You got to run it like a business, but you got to, work it like a job. And we're going to talk about what that looks like in real time. Okay, so let's talk about some of the things you need to do. So one of the things you need to do is you got to realize that you're the business. You own a multi-million-dollar business. Do you realize that? Do you realize right now, even if it's day one, you own a multi-million-dollar business? Now, you haven't built it to that yet, but that's what you own, because it can be that if you build it to that level. So you need to understand what you own. The second thing you got to do is make commitments to the business. You can't just be interested in the business. You got to be committed. I'd rather have one person with a commitment than 1,000 people with interest. I'd rather have one JC on my team than 1,000 average Joes. I'd rather have one person with a commitment than 1,000 people that are interested in our program. So you got to make a commitment to your business, and then people will be committed to you. The next thing, you got to work on your mindset. You got to work on your mindset. That's why JC, that's why we do these trainings all the time, to help you raise your belief. Your belief is your key of your business. If you don't have a strong belief that the business works and that you can do it, you won't do it. So you got to consistently train your mind. You got to work on the skill sets. You got to work on the training, like our solar university. There's a solar university that you need to go into and start learning. I didn't know what the heck a kilowatt was a couple of weeks ago. I didn't know what that meant. So now I understand, but you got to go in and you got to learn this stuff. There's videos, there's online trainings, and then these live training events. You got to put the time in. That's what it means when it means to run your business like a business. You got to set that in stone. Like just a minute ago, I went with my team, I started training them, is that they need to put these trainings in their calendar and schedule it out for the whole year. It's not optional. These are not things you can or can't go to. It's part of your business. You wouldn't miss your office meeting if you had an office, right? And you had your team come. No, it's your business. And that's the one thing about virtual right now, we're kind of all over the place. So we have to set up a schedule. So you got to put that in your calendar. The next thing is your time management. You need to be good at managing your time. Your calendar is your boss. So you got your business, which is the foundation of your business, but the calendar is the boss. The calendar tells me what I'm going to do. I've trained my entire family, friends, and everybody to answer this question. If they always ask me, Stephen, can you do this? I say, I don't know. I got to look at my calendar. That's my default answer. I don't know how to answer the question. My kids will ask me, can you go out and practice basketball with me? Don't know. I got to look at my calendar. Got to schedule it. I have to schedule everything because I can't move until I look at my calendar. When I wake up in the morning, I think about God, I pray, and I look at my calendar. I need to know where I'm going that day. And Google Calendar is very important. Even a CRM system, a contact management system. I know JC has a great one that he recommends. And so I'd recommend getting some type of system so you can run your business. It's a really inexpensive one too. You can check that out. Another thing you got to invest in is your money. You got to invest your money. Maybe you need business cards. Maybe you need clothes, some swag, some shirts and stuff, or marketing tools, or leads if you want to do that, or clothes. I mean, I'll tell you the truth. I had to go buy some clothes because I've been working from home for the last 10 years. I've been coaching from home. I got a nice arrangement of shorts and pajamas, but I didn't have a lot of business clothes anymore. So I had to go buy some clothes, for networking events, to do these types of trainings, some, shirts and stuff to get out in the public again. Networking events. You need to go to networking events. You need to look at that and say, what networking events are in my area that I can go to, attend, and actually start learning how to network and meeting people. But that's some of the things you got to invest in your business. You also got to invest your effort. You got to run your business and put effort in. So here's some things that you want to put effort in your dreams. You need to know why you're doing this business. Your why. You got to have a why so big it makes you cry. See, I'll just tell you a little bit about my why. Like JC said, I run an online ministry. We have about 200 orphans in our ministry around in Africa and India. And then we have pastors that we support. And I support these pastors. They don't give me money. One of the things about our ministry, I don't ask for a lot of tithe. If anybody gives a tithe, that's great, but the majority of that money goes to them. We give tithe versus get tithe in our ministry. So we give to the poor, to our families. We have orphans and widows, and all these pastors around the world are part of our ministry, and we do as much as we can to give. So guess what? Our ministry just grew exponentially. So I got to generate income exponentially. So that's why Powur, I'm so passionate about it, because I know this is going to be the ability, giving me the ability to do what I need to do for the Lord. So that's my why. But you need to know your why. You have your why written down, because if your why is just money, there's a lot of things you can do for money. Can't just be money. You got to know exactly what you're going to do with the money when you get it. Why do you want to generate the income? Why do you want to build this business? Because I know this for a fact. I'll just tell you right up front. I don't love solar panels. I'm not like, man, dreaming, man, those solar panels, black on black is awesome. I don't think like that. Understand? They're solar panels. Yes, am I excited about helping the people? Yeah, am I excited about helping the world and all that? Yeah, that's great. But I'm really excited about putting some shoes on those kids' feet that I look at in Africa every week. When they're hungry and I want to give them a bag of rice and some beans to go along with it. That's what I'm excited about. That's what gets me off my butt to get out and go to work. That's why I do what I do. So you need to look at your goals and say, what's your dreams and why are you doing this business? You need to write that down, and you need to be able to articulate it with passion. Because, when you're on fire, people will come from miles around to see you burn. So you need to be excited, be fired up about why you're doing what you're doing. And that's who people will follow. So you need to, put the effort in and have those dreams. You also need to have goals, which we'll talk about in a minute. You need to have specific goals of milestones of things that you're going to achieve in your business. And you got to have a plan, a marketing plan for your business, so that you can run your business like a business. And this is what it means to run your business like a business. You need to set it up, just as if you opened up a restaurant or if you opened up a bowling alley. It doesn't matter. You'd have a plan, right? But people join this business to just kind of jump in and, well, let me see what's going to happen. Well, I can tell you exactly what's going to happen. Nothing. See, if you don't plan, if you don't schedule things, if you don't run your business like a business, it's not going to be a business. You'll quit and say, oh, Powur didn't work. No, Powur did work. And there's going to be a lot of people in Powur that's going to make hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. The question is, did it work for you? And the way it's going to work for you is if you run your business like a business. So how do you work your business like a job? Let's talk about that. You got to work your business. Oops, sorry about that. You got to work your business like a job. Here's some ways to do that. I'll give you some very specific things. What you got to do, schedule everything. Everything. I schedule everything. I schedule my time I'm going to the gym. I schedule sometimes when I'm going to go on a date with my wife, got to put it in the calendar. When I got to go to pick up the dog food at the store, I put it in the calendar. Everything has to be scheduled. Now, do I schedule every single thing? No, but the majority of the big things I do schedule. You know what I schedule? I schedule my lunch breaks. So look at what I schedule. Here's some things on here. Open and close time. You need to have an open time in your business and a close time. I start my job at 8 o'clock in the morning. I end at 6. Sometimes it may be a little bit flexible. I have to be flexible. Let me give you this sentence. Write this down. Blessed be the flexible, for you'll never be bent out of shape. See, it's important to do that. So I set a time of when I'm going to work, but I'm also flexible because sometimes someone wants to, work with me a little bit later. Someone will call maybe earlier in the morning, maybe they're on the West Coast and I'm on the East Coast. Things happen. But I set a time of when I'm going to open my doors and when I'm going to close my doors, just as if I opened up a restaurant. You got to also schedule your training times when you're going to watch the training business videos. And you want to do that after business hours. You don't want to do that during money-making time. You want to do that after business hour, your training. You want to put in your prospecting time in your calendar. Or when you're going to go generate leads and convert them into prospects. When you're going to go networking. When you're going to get on LinkedIn. When you're going to, pick up your lead list and go through your top 20 list or your top 200. You got to write that out so you can know exactly when you're going to do it. You got to write out your calling time and put it in your calendar. Not just write it out, not just think about when you're going to do it. You got to schedule it. When you're going to call your leads. You got to put your lunch time in your calendar. You got to put your off time in your calendar. Like on the Saturday, this Saturday, me and JC will be honoring the Lord's Sabbath day. And it happens to be Saturday because it just falls this month. Next month, it'll be Sunday or Monday, depending on when God's calendar tells us, because it's not really on Saturday. It's just based on God's calendar. But we schedule that time. See, and it's not optional. No one can call us on that day. We don't work on the Lord's Sabbath day. We don't break the 4th commandment for any reason. But the bottom line is we schedule it. And this is so important to understand why we do this. The reason why, and you guys have heard this before, I heard somebody say it. What doesn't get scheduled doesn't get done. See, what doesn't get scheduled doesn't get done. If you don't schedule these things, it won't get done. We can almost bank on it, it won't get done. But here's another caveat to that sentence. What gets scheduled usually gets done. That's the reason why you schedule it. You schedule it because if you put it in your calendar, more than likely you're going to follow your calendar. That's why your calendar becomes your boss. As an entrepreneur, as a solopreneur like we are, then you have to have a boss. You have to have someone that tells you what to do. And my wife is good at it. She likes to tell me what to do, but she can't be my boss during the business hours, right? I need someone to tell me what time I'm going to get up, what time I'm going to get off, what time I'm going to take a lunch break. And you know what? That's your calendar. That's how you work your business like a job. So if you haven't been doing this at this point, today's the day to repent. Stop doing what you've been doing and start doing something different. Start using your calendar as your boss. And if you do that, you'll see some tremendous results. So next thing we want to talk about is setting goals. Here's why. You want to set some short-term goals consistently. And what I like to do with my team, we're going to start doing what's called daily goals, weekly and monthly goals for 90-day increments, because we run a business. just like a corporation. What does a corporation do? They have quarterly reports, right? Every 3 months, they look at the reports and see what they did, what they didn't do, and then they revamp, they get together as a meeting, and then they do the next quarter. Aflac was the best. I used to work for a company called Aflac, you know, the company on TV with the duck. And when I was with Aflac, they were the best. And most people don't know that they have one of the strongest stocks in the world in companies. Even when times were going up and down, they still stayed steady. You know why? Because every single person in the company would focus for 90 days. And at the end of every quarter, the last month, they'd have contests and they do all this stuff to keep the stock high. So even though the world around them was falling apart, the world inside of Aflac was staying strong. And guess what? Everybody got stock when they were, you know, in the business, when they would sell a policy. Sound familiar? Like what's going on with Powur? You see, you got to understand, when you have the entire sales force focused on generating income during the quarterly reports, then the quarterly numbers stay high. The business stays strong. And that's why Aflac's been around almost over 50 years. Most people don't even know that. So it's very important. You're going to have a quarterly increment. So our team, guess what we're going to do? Every quarter, we're going to be looking at our numbers. We're starting at the beginning, we start ramping up. At the end of every quarter, we have a powwow. We find out what worked, what didn't work. We revamp it, we make it better, and we go to the next quarter. And that's exactly what we're going to do. That's called a short-term goal. Because guess what? If you do 4 good quarters, guess what you had? A great year. And that's how you run a business. See, top producers set short-term goals. They set daily goals. See, top producers set daily goals. This is what they say. Today, I'm going to book 5 appointments. Today, I'm going to go get 2 bills. Today, I'm going to make 100 phone calls. Today, I'm going to go door knocking. They set daily goals. Average producers set weekly goals. This week, I'm going to make 10 appointments. Great. Well, what you got going on today? Well, today, I'm kind of busy. You know, I can't really do much today, but this week, I'm going to have an awesome week. Low producers set monthly goals. This month, I want to make $10,000. I'm going to sign up 3 people in the business. Oh, really? What you got going on this week? Well, this week I got to go on vacation. You know, I don't really have that much time this week, but this month I'm having an awesome month. Well, what do you got going on today? Well, today, you know, I got to go pick up the dry cleaning. I got to go to the mall. I got, you know, anything comes up. And so, but they're going to have a great month. Low producers have annual goals. Man, this year I want to make $100,000 a year. Oh, really? Okay, can you come to the training this month? Oh, well, you know, I'm just kind of tied up this month. Well, what about this week? Can you work this week? Well, you know, I got things with my family, got spousal situations I got to deal with. I got just stuff going on. I can't really do it this week, but this year I'm gonna have $100,000 a year. No producers have no goals. And this is what they say. Well, you know, I'm just gonna see what happens. I'm gonna try it out, see what happens in the business. Yeah, you know, I can come to the train every once in a while and see, put my finger in. They play the poker with a stick method, the hokey pokey at the business and try it out. And then they quit the business 6 months later and say, oh, Powur didn't work. Yeah, Powur does work, but you actually have to do the work. So it's very important. You want to set daily goals. If you set daily goals consistently, you'll see your business take off and it'll fly. You want to set daily goals. Now, what do you want to set daily goals on? We're going to talk about that here in a second. You got to focus on the correct activity. So these are the correct activities. And I made this personal. You want to focus on the activities, not the results. A lot of people, when they focus on the results, they focus on how many sales they're going to make. Yeah, but how many sales you're going to make is in direct proportion to the activity you do. So what I used to do when I was at Aflac or even in the Nouveau business, in the real estate business, I set for my team activity goals, not results goals, because some people could have better results. Like I was a very high closer. I closed 60, 70, 80% of the people I sit in front of. So if somebody ran a contest for me, I could do a lot less work and get a lot more results. So I could talk to 2 people and get 50, 70, 80, or 5 people, 10 people and get a lot higher results than someone that went out, worked really hard and did a lot of activity. But the goal in business and in direct sales is to get people doing the activity. Here's why, because when you focus on the activity, the results increase. So here's the activity I'd recommend you focus on and you even set team goals on. 1, how many new leads did I get today? That should be a question you should ask yourself. How many leads did I get today? How many leads did I write down in my book today? The next one is, how many times did I dial the phone today? How many leads did I dial today? How many times did I pick up and dial? Not how many people answered, not how many appointments you made, just how many times did I physically dial the phone? Write that number down. How many number of leads did I convert today? In other words, received a bill from them. How many bills did I receive today? How many appointments did I make today with or without my mentor? How many mentor appointments did I make today? And how many presentations did I make with or without my mentor? Because sometimes some of you are already certified, so you might have to make the presentation today. And you might write that out. And then how many sales did I make today? But see, a lot of people like to just focus on the sales, focus on the sales, focus on the activity, focus on the activity. If you can get yourself to focus on the activity, here's what will happen. When you track your activity, your results increase. See, that's important to understand. When you track your activity, the results increase. And that goes for any tracking. Think about this. If you want to lose weight, what do? You track what you eat, right? You track the calories. If then you track that information, you actually lose weight because you're monitoring the results. If you want to save money, what do? You track what you spend. You track what you earn. And if you do that, if you monitor it, then what happens is your wealth increases. You'll probably save money, you'll spend less, you'll track it, and the results will happen. Same thing in business. If you track your activity, your results increase. And this is what's called a daily activity tracker. As a matter of fact, I own the trademark to the words daily activity tracker. I have a logo called the daily activity tracker. And this is what we track right here. We track the money-making activities. This is what I call money-making activities. Everything else is just activity. A lot of people confuse activity with results. And so a lot of times they're busy. I'm doing this, I'm calling here, I'm talking to my team, I'm doing all these different activities, but they're not producing results. These are the things that are going to produce results. You want to see your business increase, you want to see it double your numbers. That's it. It's really simple. See, this is a simple business. It's really simple. You double your numbers, your results will increase because two things will happen. One, your activity will increase. But the second thing that'll happen automatically, your skills will increase. See, the knowledge of the business will increase, and most importantly, your skills will increase. If you increase your activity, you'll get better at it. The words that come out of your mouth will be more fluid. Your confidence will increase. Your belief in yourself will increase. Your customer retention will increase, and most importantly, your results will increase. So if you want to increase your business, just increase the numbers. And the way you increase the numbers is you track the numbers. Because when you track your activity, your results increase. So what do you have to master? You got to master the basics. So, and I know a lot of you, you've been in the business a lot longer than I have. Most of you probably had a lot more financial success than I have. That's because I just got started. And that's great. And I appreciate that. And I want to learn from all of you. But there's some basic things I've seen in this company already that I know there are facts. And that there's some fundamental things, especially with new people in the business. And I want to tell you guys something. If you're new in the business, if you're existing in the business, you've been here for a while, the business is based on the new people. I'm not building our foundation for our advanced people. I'm not even creating our training system for the advanced people. I'm creating the business for the new people. Because if you train the new people, they'll become more advanced people. They'll become more mentors. They'll become more JCs of the world. But you got to start at the basics. So everything I build and everything I train on is for the new people, because new people become advanced by doing those activities. So there's 5 basic money-making activities that a person has to master. Number 1 is generating leads. Leads are names and information. And here's the true definition of a lead. A lot of people get this mixed up. A lot of people that I've trained, I train a lot of trainers. Over the years, the last 10 years, my business has been training network marketing 6- and 7-figure income earners and 8-figure income earners how to duplicate their business. And a lot of them, and I think there's probably 2 people in my whole entire time when I ask them this question, what's the difference between a lead and a prospect? Almost nobody knew the answer. They think they're the same, and they're not. They're specifically different. And if you get this right, this makes a big difference in your effectiveness. A lead is simply name and contact. Almost everybody I meet, when they're looking at this business opportunity or when they're thinking about solar, the question they always ask themselves is this: how do you get your leads? How do you get more leads? How do I get leads? What do I need to do to get more leads? Well, what is a lead? It's name and contact information. If you open up your cell phone, you have hundreds, if not thousands of leads. If you go on your LinkedIn page, you have hundreds or thousands of leads. If you go on your Facebook, you have hundreds or thousands of leads. If you go in your neighborhood, those are leads. If you know the people, they're a lead. It's just a lead. It's name and contact. They may not know you. You may not know them. They may not know anything about you at all, but it's still just a lead. It's name and contact. What's happening is people are asking the wrong question. The question is, how do you get more leads? The question is, what is a prospect? And that's what you need to understand, the difference between a lead and a prospect. You can go buy a lead list. You can go buy a lead list that names and numbers. Now, some are hotter than others, but they're just still leads. They may not know you. You may not know them. It's a lead. What you want to know is, what is a prospect? So let me give you the actual definition of a prospect. Here it is. Write this down. Very, very important. A prospect is someone you've spoken to or communicated with that is open to learning more about what you do. That's a very important thing to understand. A prospect is someone you've spoken to or communicated with by text, by email, by whatever, by a flyer. They're open. So you've communicated with them and they're open to learning more about solar or about the opportunity. That's what the goal is. The goal is to convert a lead into a prospect. Most salespeople chase leads. They're chasing leads all day long. What I've learned to do is be very effective at converting leads to prospects by asking certain questions, asking the right questions, which we teach are called openers and audio business cards. I do that on a different training, but it's very important you got to understand. Converting leads to prospects is really what you want to get good at, in turning people into open people. Write this word down. I tell this to my team all the time, but I'm gonna give it to you as well. Never ask the word interested. When you're prospecting a new person, you can ask it. Now, does it work? Yes, of course. If you ask a person who's pretty much a lay down, who pretty much understands it already, and you ask them, then maybe they trust you already, you ask them if they're interested, it does work. But what I found over the years of training thousands upon thousands of salespeople is that when they ask the question, are you interested? If the people don't know you, they don't know, like, and trust you, and they don't have all the data, they don't have all the information, they're almost obligated to say, well, let me think about it, or, I'm not sure yet, and this and that. The reason why is because interested is a buying word. If you ask someone, hey, are you interested in solar? They're gonna say, well, no, I heard some bad things about solar. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm interested in that. But if you say, hey, are you open to learning more about how you can eliminate your electricity bill? Well, yeah, I'm open to learning that. Are you open to learning how solar could reduce your electricity bill anywhere from 30 to 80%, maybe even 100%? Well, yeah, absolutely, I'm open to that. But I'm not sure if I'm going to buy. I don't know if I'm interested in buying it. Yeah, I understand. That's why I just want to know if you're open to take a look at it. Yeah, I'm open to look at it. And that's the goal. The more people you can convert from a lead to a prospect and get them open, that means they're going to now give you the bill. Now we can get the JCs and the other mentors in there and do the presentation. So now they can get all the facts. And then once they have the facts, like JC said, it's not a decision, it's an IQ test. I mean, how much longer do you want to continue to pay the electricity company twice as much money as you have to? How much longer do you want to keep doing that? Well, never. That's right. So let's go ahead and get you set up today so we can go ahead and get that solar in your roof so you can stop paying the electricity companies and put it back in your house. Does that make sense? Yeah, I agree. So let's go ahead and get you started. You see, that's how you help people make a decision to get started. You should assume they're going to do it. Why would you assume they're not going to do it? I can't even think of a reason why a business owner sees the presentation, it makes so much sense, and they say no. The only reason that they say no, in my opinion, this is my thought, is because they didn't get it. You understand? There's only 4 reasons people don't buy. I'm going to throw this in there. It's not on the paper. There's only 4 reasons I've learned in my 33 years of sales. There's only 4 reasons people don't buy. Number 1, they don't understand it. So in other words, when you're making a presentation, if they don't clearly understand the benefits, the reason why they should do it, what they're going to lose by not doing it, they don't understand the whole process. Maybe they're not clear on the process of it, how it works. If it's not clear and they don't understand it, they're not going to buy. And guess what? It's your fault because you're the one making the presentation. Second reason people don't buy is because they don't believe it. Maybe you're showing it to them and you're maybe making it too far-fetched, or maybe they don't believe it works, or maybe they've heard a bad story. They don't believe it for some reason. In other words, you didn't convey the value. You didn't convey how much is necessary. They don't believe it's going to save the money. Whatever it is, they don't believe it's going to work for them, so they won't do it. And you know what? If they don't do it because they don't believe it, guess what? It's also your fault. The third reason why people don't buy is they don't like you. In other words, I'm not saying they dislike you. They might like you, but they don't like you. In other words, you didn't build a good rapport with them. You didn't build a friend with them. They don't trust you. In other words, they don't trust in you. Maybe you're not professional. Maybe you don't speak, well enough to make them believe that you can do what you say you're going to do. In other words, they don't trust you. They don't like you. And if they don't like you, it's your fault. You didn't build that rapport. And the fourth reason people don't buy is money. But here's the funny part about the money part. In your business, remember the last business I was selling was a $20,000 product. It was really a money issue. But in this business, there really isn't a money issue because it's only going to save them money by doing solar. It doesn't cost them money. There's no cost. It's all savings for the homeowner. So if there's no money objection and they don't buy, it's your fault. You need to sharpen your skill. You need to sharpen your presentation. You need to get better at building rapport. You need to get better at communicating the message, because the better you get, the sharper your saw gets, the more people should say, you know what, that's right, this makes complete sense. Why would I not do it? As a matter of fact, in the last solar business I was in, I was going into the home. And when I would go into the home, they had this whole song and dance presentation where they try to convince the people at the end that they were going to do it. You know what I started doing when I walked in? I'd say, hey, I just want to let you know this is what we're doing. And I kind of explained this little story I had to tell them. Then I said, well, I just want to let you know in advance that 98 to 99% of the people I sit in front of do the program I'm about to show you right now. And here's why. Because it doesn't make sense not to do it. So let me go ahead and show you how it works. I'm just assuming they're going to do it. And guess what? Virtually everybody I sat in front of bought. Why? Because it only cost them if they didn't buy. There's no cost in solar. It's only a loss in solar if they say no. And that's a mindset you have to have in advance, that it's going to cost them if they don't. So you're obligated to convey this message in an intelligent fashion that makes sense to them and get them to believe and trust in you. Because if they do, there's no reason for them to say no. Unless you just didn't convey that message or they don't qualify. It's the only reason why they should say no. And that's called a condition. It's called a condition. If they don't qualify because of credit, maybe their house doesn't qualify because there's not enough sun, or maybe they're about to sell the house in a week or two, or there's something going on. There's an underlying condition that exists. It's not your fault. You can't do anything about a condition, but I want you to write this down. This is something I used to convey to my team, and I help them sharpen this all because it is one simple thing. If no condition exists and they don't buy, it's your fault. You got to take personal responsibility. And if you realize that, then you'll get better. Because a lot of salespeople want to blame the customer, blame the mentor, blame this and blame that. No, you know what you got to do is take personal responsibility and say, how can I get better? How can I improve? How can I sharpen my saw? How can I get better at this business so I can help more people save the money they need to save? Very, very important. That's the 4 reasons people don't buy. So the 5 money-making activities, the 5 saws that you have to become excellent at is number 1, generating leads. You got to know how to generate leads. You got to know how to convert those leads to prospects, finding people that are open and asking them the right questions to help them make a decision to say, yeah, I'd like to take a look at that. That's getting the interest. You got to convert the leads to a prospect, get them to say, yes, I'm open to learning more. That's all you're trying to do. Once you do that, you get the bill. Get them to send you the electric bill. Then you book the appointment with the mentor or the solar specialist. If you're just an ambassador, you got to book that meeting with the solar specialist in their calendar. And then you submit the lead in the Powur back office. If you just get that done, you can make $100,000 a year. If you get that done and you get good at that, you can make $100,000 a month in this business. How do I know? Because that's all I trained my team in the last company. Most of them didn't even know how to close a $20,000 sale. I was the closer. Same type of system you guys have now. And you know what I taught them? This right here. I taught them how to generate a lead, convert the lead to a prospect, how to invite, and how to put butts in seats. And I mastered that. And we used to fill that office. We had 700 people a week coming through our office. We had a 10,000 square foot office space. And that's how we grew our business. But see, you guys have mentors all across the country that can help you duplicate your business. You can grow a team and override it. We didn't have that ability in this business. We didn't have any of that. We didn't have the ability to override and grow a team like you guys do. So this is what you need to learn as a new person in the business. Now, what about, let's say you're advanced. Let's say you are a mentor already. You're at that level. So what do you need to do? So this is what you need to do. I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna show it to you. If you're an advanced and you're a mentor, maybe you're already at that next level. You need to focus on growing your team, on recruiting. But you need to have an activity tracker for yourself. And you need to focus on the activities, not results too. And here's the activities. How many new ambassador leads did I get today? That should be a question you should ask yourself. How many new consultant leads did I get today? How many ambassador leads did I dial today? How many times did I dial 4 ambassador leads? How many times did I dial 4 consultant leads? How many ambassador leads did I convert and get them open to looking at the opportunity today? How many consultant leads did I get open to look at the opportunity today? How many appointments did I make today to show the plan? In other words, to make the presentation either by video or getting them to one of the opportunity presentations, or you doing a one-on-one or a 2-on-1 with your upline and your mentor. What about presentations? How many did you make with or without your mentor? And how many ambassadors or consultants did I enroll today? See, because when you track your activity, your results increase. And if you want to grow a team, this is what you need to focus on. So there's 2 sections here. You have the sections for the new people. The new people need to focus on the 5 money-making activities. The leaders in the business, they need to focus on both. They need to still keep their activity going because you need to lead by example, and then you need to build a team, and this is how you do it. You focus on the activity. And here's another thing you want to focus on, number 2, is training your team. You got to become training your team, because here's what I learned, and this is what I teach my team. The best trained team wins. Bottom line. The best trained team wins. And that's why I built an entire training academy for my team. I've been here a couple weeks. I've already built it. All our training videos go inside of it. And the reason why is because I want a centralized place. I don't want to keep sending them email links and this and that. No, I built a system so they can be trained. See, I'm running a business. I'm not here as a hobby. You can build your business as a business, or you can build it as a hobby. And you know what hobbies do? You get hobby checks. Hobby checks, all right? You don't make money in hobbies, you pay money in hobbies, right? And that's what this can become. But if you want to build the business, you got to set up a system. So I set up a system for training my team. So here's some things that you want to have. One, you want to have an emailing system for your team. Like the CRM JC talked about, you can email out to your people. My team gets an email from me at least a couple times a week. We either with a new tool or motivation or something. They know they're getting an email from me. I set up a texting system. I think the CRM has a texting system in there. So you can text out your team and they get text from me with they got a text right before this meeting, letting them know that I'm doing a training. You need to be on it. You promote to the event. You set up an activity contest. We got a activity contest running right now that, helping our team, grow their business. You want to set up personal group coaching times with your team. That's why I set up a meeting right before this training. That's what I was doing. On training for an hour with my team, specifically training them some of the basics of the business. Last thing is you got to create vision for your team. See, in the book I like to read, it says, without vision, people perish. And guess what? In this business, if you don't give your team a vision, someone else will, and they'll be gone somewhere else. So you got to give them a vision for their life. You got to give them a vision for their business. You got to get them to believe they can do it. That's the key thing you got to do in this business. You got to get people to believe they can do it, because a lot of people have doubt right now. There's a lot of people out of work. There's a lot of people insecure. The people getting laid off because not taking this, jab, and all kinds of crazy stuff going on out there. I hear a lot of it. People are afraid. They don't know what to do. But you got to give them the vision. You got to be the visionary for your team. And when you do that, people will stay with you and they'll follow you wherever you go. Here's my motto. I want to share it with you. I've been saying this for about 20 years. When you build the people will build the business, the nation, and the world. And that's the motto I have for my team. For the people that are on my team, my goal is to help build these people and help them grow personally. Because even if they leave this company and they don't stay here, maybe down the road, maybe something else that they want to do. Maybe it doesn't matter. but they'll remember this training because I built the people, and they'll be better people because of what I did for them. And that's a mindset that you need to have. That's a mindset that JC has. He wants to build the people. He wants them to be better when they leave him. See, if we do all these different things, you guys, we'll have an amazing, amazing business. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. It was, short training. I didn't have a lot of time to prepare, but I just want to thank you so much, JC, for giving me the opportunity to share my heart and share what I wanted to share with the people on your team. So thank you again, JC, for letting me share.
Hey, Stephen. Wow. Incredible, brother. Incredible. Thank you very much for that information. Team, I want you guys' feedback on this, because Stephen is not talking from a perspective of launching your business only. He's talking from a higher level, which is running a business. And that to me was a very, very big thing, because a lot of people seem to think that this is simply a little home-based business or a sales position. This is significantly more than that. You guys hear me say it all the time, you are your own solar broker. You have a solar brokerage, or you are your own solar dealer. When Stephen does business, he doesn't do it to do things small. He does it to do it big, right? And that's why he trained on how to run a business. And it's so true. Treat it like a business, but you got to first master to treat it like a job, meaning you have that set schedule. So to me, man, that was so incredibly powerful, Stephen. Thank you so much for that, brother. We're going to have this recording available on the YouTube channel later on today, which, by the way, Stephen mentioned of a training system. He's helping me put together. Some of you guys have heard me talk about putting a training website with different modules, module 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, from beginner to advanced. He's helping me put that together as we speak. He's an expert at putting systems together. And here's one of the things that I learned: recruit your weakness. There's a lot of things that Stephen is significantly better at than I am. So guess what? I'm leveraging him. I know more about solar than he does, so he's leveraging me, right? And that's the synergy. That's why you never want to miss any of these events. And let me tell you guys something. Some of you guys today, I know everybody got something from it, but some of you guys 3 months from now, you get on a training similar to this one, you're going to get even more from it 3 months from now, because your business is more advanced and it's going to make a little bit more sense. That is the reason why you never miss an event. You never miss a training. This should be, like Stephen said, put it on the calendar. So anyways, again, Stephen, I can't thank you enough, my brother, for doing this training. The entire team appreciates you. We look forward for you to win that contest, the recruiting contest. I have no doubt that you're going to win it, brother. And let's make it happen. So team, with that being said, I'll see you guys at the top, or from the top, because we're going to the top. And let's crush it. Let's end the year strong. Right now, build momentum for the end of the year. That way you enter 2022 with momentum, instead of entering 2022 trying to create momentum. You want to go ahead and build momentum right now. Awesome, guys. Thank you. We're going to close this out. Have a good day, everybody. I appreciate all of you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Oh, also, Stephen, if you could send us a Google Doc sheet, and we'll put it on the WhatsApp group for everyone. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Let's get it. You guys rock. Woo! Have a great day.